Hey everyone, today we got Object 703 version 2, tier 8 Russian heavy, which is in my opinion is really fun tank to play because why? Because you got two guns, of course, and you can see obviously. Looks good as well though. But anyway, we're gonna talk a little bit more about this tank in upcoming games. We're gonna show you field modifications, equipment, crew members, and positioning, and how the tank overall behaves. So let's go to the battles and let's see what he's capable. So the first battle we got Paris, and this matchmaking is pretty good side as well, because in Paris, in this side of the cap, you can play in really, in my opinion, massive and kind of broken position, which is a K5, K4, and I will show you very soon. But anyway, we got a great matchmaking. We're playing as a top tier, I should say, all tier 8s, but we are heavy tank, so this map is perfect for me. And yes, I know majority of you hate this map, but I do like it. I had multiple great games in this map. But anyway, we got great setup. Obviously, I'm gonna use in this game standard equipment, which is turbo, improve aim, and verticals. I know, improve aim. I know it sounds funny, but instead of improve aim, you can go for HP boost, vents if you want to. But I wanted to see what this tank is capable, and to show you guys what the gun can do, or I should say what he capable to do. But anyway, in this situation, I'm gonna use this kind of setup. As I said, you can use totally different. Instead of improve aim, you can go for HP boost or vents. It's your own choice. Obviously, if you go for bound or bone, I would totally put different setup, which probably would go with the tryhard setup, experimental level 3 turbo, verticals, and bone vents. That would work really well, I would say. Or instead of vents, I would go for experimental level 3 HP, which understandable as well, because you're gonna get protection of your ammunition, and obviously for not getting set on fire, because it's Russian overall, so you can work really often with the fire. But anyway, in this game, obviously I'm gonna use gold rounds. Usually, you know me, I don't use it, but just to review the tank, I'm gonna use it, and I'm gonna show what he's capable with all the shells. And in my opinion, this tank layout is really pretty good, because standard rounds are APCR, so which goes for a long range, and the premium rounds are heat rounds, which really good for close range battles. But yeah, did I mention before? I will take this position, and this position in my opinion is really OP, because you got a hold down, and in this hold down it can work really super well. We're managing to bounce T28 already 3 times, and just like that. Obviously we got 1 penetration into the face. Why we got a penetration into the face? Because enemy Yoch tank used the gold round, and 703 turret armors, or gun mantle I should say, has some weak spots. And as you can see, T28 trying to do the same thing what the Yoch tank did. Why so? Because that's how it looks like your armors. As you can see, next to the gun mantle, you can have a penetration chance, and this is how it looks like against 220 millimeters penetration. You got a 40% chance to get penetrated. So if someone loads the gold, you have more chance to get penetrated. So my suggestion, always try to do wiggle in your turret, so people will try to hit the weak spot, but at the same time they will go more to the left or right, so you'll have more chance to bounce. And at the same time, you got a really nasty, in my opinion, really nasty and good armors. For 703, for double barrel, this armors works really well, and you can see in the replay. We got already 2,300 bounds. We got some paid actors, which is 53 TP, and we got already 2,800. So I would say this tank is well rounded. Obviously he's a paid actor. Just have to stop over there. Unfortunately, no doubles, but anyway, that's a pure proof that he can be in a hold down, and he also can side scrape really well, or even reverse side scrape, which works even easier, I guess. But obviously you need to watch out what you're doing, right? You need to know what you're doing. what I need really to highlight, in a hold downs like this, you need to watch out. You got only -5 gun depression, which can be a bit dodgy to actually make it work, right? -5 is horrible actually, in my opinion, but at the same time, if you know how to use it, everything gonna be good. And in this crazy situation where you basically just need to be in a hold down with farming to the left or right, and we got already 3.8 thousand damage, and obviously we spam gold. Yeah, you can judge me, but I wanted just to show you what this tank is capable. You got a great gun, plus the gun can make you smile because you're gonna double barrel someone, and there is a big potential to ammo rock or set on fire someone as well. I'm not even talking about the critical chance. We're not talking about his bounce though. We need to aim sometimes, right? I think so. We hit his gun. Yeah, let's blame the gun. But anyway, just like that, it's 12-2. We didn't do a lot, but at the same time, we were in a broken position. It worked well. We farmed well, and you tell me, it was difficult or not? I don't think so. It was difficult, in my opinion. But yeah, the job is done. We got a steel wall, high caliber, first class as well on top of that, 4,500 damage. Small profit, but we spend a lot of for credits, and at the same time we don't have consumables, so keep that in mind. So yeah, that was pretty nice battle, I would say. And the next battle we're gonna have a Murovanka. Yeah, we're playing with Murovanka, and you can see in my layout, which is pretty interesting, right? It's vents, optics, and improve aim. Why this setup is like this? Because I'm different builder, right? This setup is for Malenovkas, Prokhorovkas, where you actually need to increase your weave range, in my opinion, or your gun handling in the long range, right? So, considering this tank are capable to do snapshots and so on, while standing, not moving, obviously, I like it. And that's why I'm using improve aim and vents and optics. But just because of open maps. And this one map is one of the open maps. Although, instead of improve aim, you can go for verticals, right? Instead of optics, you can go... Your call, guys. You can go with turbo, I guess. But I like to have some view range, and that view range can work sometimes. Obviously, maybe not in this situation, though. But you never know, right? We're playing against tier 9s, so we can see what we are capable against them. Because we're a bottom tier, right? So we're gonna try our best. And obviously there is a BZ176 who already took the position. And there is a nasty tank, I should say, which is Maushan. So we will have to spam some gold in this situation. Overall, you're heavy, you're fighting with the heavies. That's what you're supposed to do, right? So once again, about my layout, there is a lot of different kind of options for this tank, in my opinion, because he's well-rounded tank. He's really well-rounded tank and can work with quite multiple different layouts. But once again, if I would try hard setup, I would have try hard setup. I would go for bone vents, experimental turbo, and experimental HP though. But yeah. Once again, a TS5, that's a pure proof. He tapped the 2 key and he penned me into the gun mantle. So you need to watch out what you're doing. Don't stand still. You can get penetrated pretty easy. So remember that. Moving on, we were also using fuel modifications, which helps for this tank a lot. And one of them were actually, as you can see, on the first one, we were using to the left, which increased our mobility. The second one, better dispersion, which makes sense, right? Better dispersion means less aim, blah, blah, blah. And the last one, view range. Once again, makes sense why I use the view range, because I like to see. And that's why you got 0 spotting so far. Yes, that's why I got a 0 spotting so far. Although I spot Scorpion and somehow managed to pen him. The shell should fly somewhere else, but oh well. We spot Sue as well. Once again, because of optics? I don't think so, because of the close range. But anyway, that's my option and my opinion. Maybe that could work, maybe not. But sometimes to have a view range, especially when you're bottom tier, is not a bad choice, right? It's not a bad choice. Moving next, 3-3 already, by the way, talking about the game. And we getting shredded. And as you can see, enemies doing huge pressure, and this baby, motion calls. I'm trying to pen him lower plate, and I have 220 millimeters penetration, and I can't pen it. It's like 50-50 in that angle, and he's angling really well. Keep that in mind, this tank penetration on the standard rounds are pretty good, honestly, pretty good. Considering there is a Skoda T56 who has 206 or 208 millimeters, that is way better penetration, honestly. But if you got the targets like Mauschenbrecher, just go for the Chuki, and you can see that's like a day and night, and you can shred him without thinking. Also, don't hesitate, shoot the first shell, you don't need to think about the second, both reloads at the same time, so just try, just farm. And now you're playing basically with the one gun, which is not a huge difference, right? Can we get another one? Easy, another lower plate shot. And we got already 2,300. Although the TS5 trying to push us, so we need to watch out with this gentleman. He's really nasty DPM owner and well-rounded tank destroyer. Nah, heavy? Maybe yes. But anyway, he's trying to push, we're trying to avoid him, so we got ice all over the place. And as you can see in this situation, I'm trying to reverse side scrape, which, trust me, works in this tank, and you can bounce a lot of tanks, although you need to watch out what you're doing, because if you're gonna have a tunnel vision, you're gonna get penetrated immediately from XM66F. Once again, we got already 1,500 blocked, and we got also over 3,000 damage against higher tiers, which is pretty good. Eliminating TS5 into the lower plate, if you can say so, because I don't think so he has lower plate. But yeah, taking him out from the game, which is a great start to try to win the game, because it's 8-10 and we are kind of struggling, so we're gonna try to do our best. And also on top of that, we are running out of the shells. We got only 3 heat rounds left, and there is still a lot of tanks where I actually need heat rounds, considering there is a CC still in the game. But yeah, we will think about that later on. We're trying to tank and side scrape against the XM. Same goes with the Mauschen. Keep that in mind, I'm trying to pen his low weak spot in the turret. First shot managed to pen, second one bounced, and it was just 50-50 chance to pen. I needed to aim a little bit more to hit in the right in the middle. Although that's a sad story that we did not penetrate him. But RNG takes, RNG gives, I guess, and somehow we managed to penetrate him in the lower plate. I don't ask. OBS hacks, I guess. Finally, our T28 pushed forwards, so he traded a little bit HP. We take out XM66F from the game, and it's 11-12. And I feel really good, to be fair. And in this situation, obviously optics wasn't the case, wasn't the bright side, and yeah, I mean, it is your call to use this kind of setup or not. But did you see any issues with the gun handling? I don't think so. Anyway, you're gonna fight in the close range, so verticals can work as well, but improving it also. And now we managed to spot Char Murat. And without optics, I don't think so we could manage to do that, because this tank is a little bit struggling with the weave range. But with the optics, we managed to spot Char Murat, and Char Murat has really good camo, if I'm not mistaken, without exhauster and so on. He has like 32% with the vents and so on. I could be wrong, recently we marked it, but 32%, it's pretty good. And to spot him with the heavy tank, it's been challenging, right? But we spot him, we gave him a double. Finally, you can see the double, which can bring you a lot of smile. And we gave him for 791 damage. And the sound of the double is just a pure heaven, chat. Trust me, it's a pure heaven. You need to try it. And that's what I'm saying, when you're playing this tank, it can make you smile. It can definitely make you smile. It made me smile multiple times. But anyway. We're trying to do double blind shot to Char Murat. I didn't see the splash, to be fair, and maybe that was connection, maybe not. We will see, I guess. And I was still spotted, and Char Murat actually gave me one shot to the back, which is not a good deal, though. because we are one-shottable now, and enemy still got, as I mentioned before, TT, which is a really well armored heavy tank. Once again, I would say same as TS5. They are brawlers, they are good heavy, good frontliners, so we're gonna struggle later on. Anyway, we're doing one shot to Char Murat with the blind shot. I think so that was connection. I didn't see the any splash, so looks like we got blind shot. Trying to do another one, we see the splash. That's mean I think so he moved. But yeah, just like that, we got already 5.3 thousand against higher tiers, and I think that's pretty good, pretty good in my opinion. Although Scorpion G from the behind, so we are in the big trouble, chat. We are in the big trouble, same as CC pushing forwards and Scorpion taking us out from the game, unfortunately. We got a 3 kills, 12 to 14, and probably we lost the game. We lost the game, but we got an ace tanker with a high caliber, plus we did a blind shot. So Charmora took 1 blind shot, and we got in total 5.7 thousand damage with 1,000 nearly 100 experience, 3 kills, which went really well, although we lost some credits. But keep that in mind, once again we paid 14,000 for consumables, so remember that. But once again we spent some gold. On the top of that, I want to talk about the crew. Yes, crew. I want to talk about the crew. For this tank, if I would go for the crew, for example commander, I choose all of this. I don't need concealment, mentor and so on sound detection as well. You're heavy, you got no mobility, so to avoid the shells will be difficult. And a quick one, honestly, driver, same, brother in arms, repairs, clutch brake, smooth ride and off-road driving with engineering, in my opinion would be good choice because of the little bit slow turning. He's a little bit slowly turning, to be fair. Gunner, I would go with the Deadeye, repair, brother in arms, snapshot, obviously, quick aiming and armorer. Yeah, I know. Well, you got a double barrel, so if you got that potential penetration plus minus 5% and decrease the gun dispersion, I think so that's a good choice. Trust me. Concentration is not bad, but you don't wanna snipe with the tank. You don't have time with this kind of heavy to aim too long, right? Moving next, we got a loader. Intuition must be saved. Storage, adrenaline rush, your preferential if you want it. That's really good perk. Brother in arms, repairs, or basically armor tuning. I went with the armor tuning instead of close combat or perfect charge. Although armor tuning can be replaced, or adrenaline rush could be replaced with close combat if you're aggressive player, or obviously shell velocity if you passive player and you snipe more. Your choice, but this is my setup. And then the second loader, I choose, instead of safe storage, I went for close combat, so I can have both perks, not just one. Not just one of 100%, but both 50-50% basically. And then radio operator, obviously awareness for better view range, communication expert, so I can get a bonus of 2.5% when I track someone or spot someone, because I'm gonna fight in the front. That's one of the reasons why I had the optics and the bench obviously for open maps, but it didn't work on previous game, or maybe did. Then obviously firefighting, most likely for most of the tanks I should use that one, or you should use that one, because it's only one perk now, so you have to use it in my opinion, because if you're gonna get set on fire, you burn for maximum. You got a second option on the radio operator, which is once again awareness or side by side, because you're heavy, so you're gonna fight with your other allies, which will increase 2.5% of the crew, which is good, but it's your choice, right? Anyway, that was, in my opinion, 703. I'm enjoying this tank. This tank is really nice to play. In my opinion, once again, it's well-rounded, good armors, good gun. Unfortunately, no gun depression. Can be a little bit frustrating, and also you can get penetrated into the gun mental. But once again, just do this. Just do that, and you're gonna increase chance to ricochet enemy shots. But yeah, also on top of that, if you don't spam gold, this tank is pretty good on credit farmer. Really good for a front line as well. Anyway, tell me your opinion. And thank you for watching. Like and subscribe, and see you soon. Bye-bye.